Fun fact, I got Plat for the first time when Dust came out. Yeah, when Orb was on its release and didn't have things like Sidelight Sair, Nair was not good as a juggling option, well, it wasn't good at all. And it was basically a hit or miss weapon at the time, like the first 2 weeks or so. And then they buffed it once, and it became what is now known as a string weapon, with the range of a ranged weapon and insane damage build up like a heavy weapon, and you guys get the point. Right then, uh, I wasn't expecting to make another one of these videos for like at least 4 more weeks, but since my test week is over, I made myself some time and pulled out some motivation to start this little project which was a request in one of my videos, and it was the winner of a poll I made. So let's get right into it. Orb is kinda similar to Bow. The weapon is always considered to be good, but only played by a selected few that actually make it to the top with it. But it's also similar to Sword since it's so easy to play, and I'd say it's even a beginner friendly weapon. But then again, it's also a weapon that takes advantage of its easy strength, so okay, what's the deal? Orb is the second weapon that excels at pretty much anything, the first one being Sword. Go watch my first Oddities video on that one. So let's break it move by move. Neutral Light is a two-piece swing that covers the stack in front and a little bit above of the character's hitbox. Same as Sword Neutral Light, it can be used as a string starter, extender, it's also a get off me move, and it can be strength into itself. If done correctly, you can chain up to 4 maximum neutral lights off one single dodge. Yeah. Sidelight is a forward swing that's gonna be your best friend as an orb main. Perfect long range option, combo starter, sets up a couple 6 strings that are dependent of the character, and is the first piece of your main kill combo, Sidelight Sair. D-Light is an anti-air swing that's your second best friend, since it excels as a combo starter, extender, and it covers a flaw that many weapons have, and that is that they rely on 6 as anti-airs to cover themselves from air approaches. Neutral Air is an incredible upward swing that's your main juggle option. Alongside D-Light, these both work like bread and butter, similar to Blaster's Nair. You mainly use it to take advantage of people with bad landings and platform maps. Sair is a two-piece swing, with the second piece being activated on hit, that is your main kill option while on the air, and it's also the second part of your main kill combo. It can also start and extend combos, but it is quite a commitment, so it is not as effective to make up the space between you and your opponent. Downer is the one move that takes Orb to the next level, a long-range swing that excels at creating space between you and your opponent. It's amazing at being an edgeguard tool, from the very edge, not even the wall, and it's also a combo extender, and has different properties whether the orb bounces off a surface or not. Recovery is a multi-swing move that works oddly, because most of the time it's a lingering hitbox, can be really annoying, but since it's so slow on its startup, it makes it difficult for it to be a reliable option for any jump or up dodge read. It can be a good option since you can pinpoint your recovery and steer it to the opposite way to mix up your opponent though. Ground Pound is a blast that has tons of force. It's a ranged move unlike many of the other Ground Pounds, and its main quirk is that it halts your momentum for a bit, allowing you to stall your air movement to regain a dodge without losing any altitude. Think about it as that one character that's always been above average and never gets nerfed, okay? You thought of someone? If you did, maybe a couple options cross your mind. Bodvar, Mordex, Petra, Thor, Theros, Fade, etc, and the list can go on and on because it can be really subjective, but I'm pretty sure that 70% of you thought of someone that has Orb, and it is for a good reason. It honestly does well above average against half of the weapon cast. Take a look on the by now common tier list that I make on these videos, and always take in mind that this is solely my opinion. If you disagree, feel free to say it in the comments. Due to its decent range, it can pretty much fuck every close range weapon. Options like Jump Dare and D-Light basically destroy any type of approaches from weapons like Lance or Cannon. On Whiff, this weapon can always guarantee a 2-piece as a minimum. It does fairly well against fast and long range weapons, only losing to weapons that completely outrange it and don't get on its threat zone, and weapons that excel at whiff punishing, dealing massive damage. But you might wonder, why isn't this weapon getting nerfed if it's so-called one of the best? Well, I don't have an answer. But my best guess is that it might sound crazy, but there are other options, meta options that everyone is using, or simply use comfort picks. But if you do want to improve and have a weapon that leaves a clear path for your victory, give Orb a try. And please, for the love of God, nerf that. You know guys, I noticed that on almost every weapon oddities video, I've been making typos on the weapon chart. I'm deeply sorry, and it should be fixed for this and the upcoming ones, so have a nice one.